So I'm slightly terrified that not only are we going to be, spending all of this time together, but like I am with them all day, every day, and we have to learn and we have to have fun. And sometimes like mama just needs a break. Hey everybody, good afternoon. I wanted to come on here today and kind of do something a little bit different than normally, just talking about like a specific thing with homeschooling. If you're new here, my name is Jocelyn and I am a new homeschooling mom. I have a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old, and we will begin homeschooling technically this summer. We're going to do like a summer study, but technically in the fall of this year. So a little bit of background about me is I have no homeschooling background. I'm the type of mom that when people found out we were homeschooling, they're like, oh, you're gonna teach your kids. And I was like, no, not me. We're gonna hire a teacher. We're gonna bring somebody in, because we were gonna start a micro school and have other kids come into our home, and then we were gonna hire a teacher. And the more that I researched and got into it, I was like, we really need to tailor these curriculums. Like, we have 2 very different kids, so if we try and put them into a one-size-fits-all curriculum, like, we're not doing them any justice. That's why we pulled them out to begin with of like the mainstream school. But anyway, so when I started, I really didn't have any idea where to start. And if you want, you can go watch my other video. I think it comes out before this one, of the steps that I took to find curriculum, because I really didn't have any idea of how to find curriculum. But anyway, so I really struggled with, and it was a learning process. So I realized that, trying to recreate a school at home, trying to make a one-size-fits-all curriculum, like, the beauty of homeschooling is that you don't have to do that. And I was also trying to put my kids in a grade box. So, we had talked to the teachers, and she's like, your son is ready for 1st grade. He's doing his math, he's doing his writing, he's starting to read, he's ready for 1st grade. So when I was looking for 1st grade curriculums, I was looking for 1st grade curriculums. And, it was very hard for me to unplug that from my brain when I was looking at these curriculums, realizing, like, I don't think my son is ready for this, like, I don't think he's ready for a full history curriculum. I don't think he's ready for, certain science or whatever. And even some of the language arts stuff, I just didn't think that he was ready. And then when it comes to my daughter, that it was even more difficult, because we did kind of a trial run homeschooling over their spring break. So I had gotten some of the curriculum in, and they were so excited about it. So I was like, okay, well, let's sit down and let's go through it. And some of the stuff my daughter flew through, and I'm like, okay, great, now what am I going to do? So she flew through that. But then when it came to some of the other things, I'm like, she's not ready for this, like, to sit down and have a 10-15 minute lesson where she listens to me teach and she does, work in a workbook. Like, she's not ready for that. She's over there doing somersaults on the couch instead of sitting down here at a table, but she's 4. So I really had to, like, that's why I guess they call it deschooling, because, you just have it so ingrained in your mind that kindergarten, 1st grade, that's where they are. And it was almost difficult for me to admit that, they weren't necessarily on that level, that, like, if they were to go into school, that, like, they would be all 1st grade stuff. And, it's not like they're behind, because they're technically ahead, but there some things that they developmentally are just as they should be. And I don't know why that was so hard for me to wrap my mind around. I don't want to put them in a box. I want to, meet them where they are, and if that means that we do 2 years of kindergarten for my daughter, or if we call it, her preschool year again, but we still do some kindergarten stuff. I mean, I wish that we didn't have to put a grade on them, I guess. And for the government, we technically do. Like, we have to say, oh, this is their kindergarten year or first grade year or whatever. So anyway, so that was my first thing, is just, really coming from a public school background, a private school background, and having them been labeled already in school is into a grade, like wrapping my mind around not needing to do that anymore. At least like from a learning standpoint, from a teaching standpoint. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. And I don't know if anybody else feels that way. Yeah, I don't want to do them a disservice by putting them in levels ahead of where they are, just for the sake of because that's where I'm told they should be, if that makes sense. So that's one of the struggles. And then another struggle that I've had is just finding that balance of what necessarily do they need right now from me, and what can we kind of put off. I guess it's FOMO, fear of missing out. So my daughter, she's 4, but she wants to do school. She will go get her little preschool workbook that we have, just worksheets for fun. Well, she thinks that they're fun. And she'll tell me Mommy, it's time to do my work now, and she'll sit down and she'll go through some of the sheets and what does this say, and she'll do her work. But how much is too much starting out? And where is that balance? Should we have to do, at least for my son right now, we have to do language arts, we have to do math, we have to do science, we have to do an elective, and we have to do language arts, social studies. So, but then you see all these fun curriculums and unit studies and things like that, and it's that you want to just do everything. And so I'm making notes to do all these years in advance, but I also don't want to overwhelm my kids, because I think it sounds fun to do all these things. And that's another thing, is some of the curriculums that I chose, like Build Your Library, for example, I would have loved to have done. But I don't know necessarily if it's something that they will love. So it's finding that balance between how much of the homeschooling are you doing for you and how much are you doing for your children. I mean, I guess it's all technically for them, but finding that balance of, serving them what they need and will push them, but also not overwhelm them, if that makes sense. So yeah, these are just some of the things that I've been struggling with as someone new to the homeschooling world. We do a couple, and my kids are really excited. They're really excited that they get to stay home next year, mainly because they don't have to have nap time anymore. They have nap time at their school. But they're really excited. I mean, every time a new curriculum comes in, they want to see what they have. They want to look at their new work. So that's pretty cool that they're excited. Oh yeah, so there's another thing, is all of these, I'm a little nervous, just for me personally. You see all these homeschool moms on YouTube, and they've got their perfect background. You guys can see, I've got we're moving soon, so I've got boxes and stacks of things everywhere. But you've got these moms with these clean, clear bookcases and clear tables and white background, like walls and white couches and all this like glowing everything. And then that's not me. Like I don't know what, you know, homeschool world they got their kids from, but like when my son and I do, they make it seem like, you know, they just pick these curriculums and then the kids sit down and they go through it and everything is great and they do all these magical things together and they have so much fun and this is working but this isn't working, but it's just like everything is like smooth sailing, and that is not my life. Like my son and I are going through Teach Your Child to Read right now in 100 Easy Lessons, and you know, we're sitting on the couch going through this, and then my daughter is over there doing somersaults on the couch and, you know, jumping up and down on the couch and running around and coloring things, and it's like, how am I supposed to get these two to sit at a table at the same time and listen to me and do work? Like, what magical world do those kids come from? Because I haven't met them, because they're not mine. Like, I just don't see, as I would love to have, you know, this magical bubble that they, you know, we start our homeschool day and everything is wonderful and magical and we have so much fun, and I'm slightly terrified that it is going to be a cluster and a hot mess. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody else feels that way, if everybody else has it easy, I don't know. But I must admit that I am the type of mom that loves to drop my kids off at their preschool. I mean, I love their preschool, like I love their teachers and all of that. We've been together now for 3 years, so it's very small. They're like family, so it's not, I don't mean to say like I love to ship my kids to school, but I love to drop them off at school and have that like time for myself. And once they're done with school this year, like, I have my kids forever and always, amen. And I know that probably sounds really, really terrible, because I love my children and I love to hang out with my kids and we have really, really great time. But I still have that like school outlet where I can take them and go pick them up when I want them. I know this is sounding absolutely terrible, and I'm really sorry if this sounds much worse than I mean it to sound. I'm just saying I like my me time, and school right now allows me that time. So I'm slightly terrified that not only are we going to be, you know, spending all of this time together, but like I am with them all day, every day, and we have to learn and we have to have fun, and sometimes like mama just needs a break. So I don't know how these amazing YouTube families do this, but I'm slightly terrified. So yeah, but as I said on my introduction video, is like, I'm always going to keep it real and talk about, you know, what I'm going through as a new mom in the homeschool. I'm not a new mom, as a mom new to the homeschooling world. So I'm sure there'll be some great stories. So yeah, thanks for listening as I just kind of go on about my fears and my concerns and my, I guess my struggles, what fills my head these days. I get scared that I'm going to get it wrong. You know, I picked a curriculum and it came in and it was like the absolute wrong choice for both of my kids. And I like freaked out. I was like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Like, can I do this? Is this like an actual good idea to keep my kids home and teach them everything that they're going to know in life? But yeah, do any of us know what we're doing? I don't really know. So thank you for watching, and remember to hit that subscribe, like, comment down below. Please tell me your fears and your struggles so I know I'm not alone in this. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Bye, guys.